So the first point, I'll try to go point wise. The first point that I think is very important for this examination is to start with a proper plan. And now how to do the proper planning. The first step always is by understanding the examination well. And how to do that? The simple way is to first of all go through the examination syllabus very properly and very thoroughly. So you should get a copy of UPSC Civil Service Examination syllabus, which is on the website of UPSC also. It's available, in hard copy also, everywhere in the country. You should get hold of a copy. Just go through the syllabus of the entire examination. It should be at your tips. What is there in the preliminary examination, what is there in the general studies. There are in main examination you have 4 GS papers, we have 2 optional papers. So what is the syllabus of GS1, what is the syllabus of GS2, what is there in GS3, what is there in GS4. So you should know all these things. You should have some sort of a map in your examination. Now, by knowing the examination syllabus, 2 things will happen. First thing, it will demystify the examination for you. When you read the topics and subtopics, you will realize that actually these are not difficult ones. These are something which you might have already encountered and at one or the other point in your life. So knowing this examination syllabus is very important. It also helps you decide what you should study, what you should read and what you should not. For example, a newspaper, it forms an integral and an essential part of your preparation. But if you see in the newspaper, there are a lot of news articles and news items are there. Now, how do you decide which one to read and which one not to read? You cannot read all of them because of course you don't have that much of time. Now, how do you decide which ones to read? Your familiarity with the examination syllabus will help you in that. Okay, so examination syllabus is an absolute must. You should go through it. You should go through it again and again. You can have a copy pasted on your table or on the wall of your room wherever you are studying. It will really help you. Number 1. Number 2 is, now once you have gone through the examination syllabus, next what you should do is you should look for the proper resources. Where do you get to read all these things which are there in the syllabus. So for that I will be sharing the book list which I followed during my preparation. So you can note it down if you feel like. So I'll go by subject wise. I have kept it in my mobile phone in case somebody needs it. So for history, I read NCERT, which is from 9th to 12th. NCERT books of 11th and 12th are very, very important. Now, it's for both your ancient and medieval as well as for your modern history. I have found few of my colleagues who prepared ancient and medieval history from Tamil Nadu board text. Okay, it's slightly less complicated and easy to read as compared to the NCERT book. So that is one option. You can either read medieval and ancient history from the NCERTs that you are having, or from Tamil Nadu board history textbook. Then in history you also have modern history. You have Spectrum. There's a small book by Spectrum publication on modern history. It's largely in the form of short notes. It's very, very useful especially for your preliminary examination. And for main examination, you can read Bipin Chandra's Freedom Struggle in addition to the NCERT books which you have read. Then if in the main examination in paper 1, in the history portion, you also have India After Independence. So there is this book called India After Gandhi by Ramchandra Guha, and there is also one book, India After Independence by Bipin Chandra and Mridula Mukherjee. So you can read either one of the 2 books, either read Ramchandra Guha or Bipin Chandra, India After Independence. So a lot of questions every year do come from this portion, India After Independence, in your main examination. Another very important area in history as far as main examination is concerned is you have world history. Okay, so world history, there's one wonderful book by Norman Love. Okay, it covers your portion from World War I onwards, okay, till the fall of USSR, and most of the questions in world history come from this period only. Okay, so you can prepare it from this book. It's an absolute must. For the period, for the portion which is before World War One, NCERT books are again very, very important. NCERT books are, they largely cover everything. You should go through them properly. And besides, there is this book by B.V. Rao. I had read that book by B.V. Rao, which had the which covered the portion before World War One. I covered the portion before World War One from that book, which is written by B.V. Rao. So that was history. Next up is geography. In geography, of course, NCERT books are very, very important. I read the new NCERT books for geography, not the old ones. So new ones are really fairly more, updated. The data whichever is in there is slightly more updated, though not as updated as we would have liked it, but at least it's that way much better than the old ones. And also the language and the graphics which are used, they make it less boring. So I have found that in case of geography, the new NCERT books are pretty good for preparing. There's also one book by G.C. Leong, Physical Geography, again very, very important book. It's again a very easy to read and a very colorful book. You can, very small one also, you can read that also. For covering some of the portions for your main examination in geography, Khullar, D.R. Khullar's book Indian Geography is very useful. It's a quite thick book. You don't have to read it entirely. Just read those portions which are there in your examination syllabus. Look at the syllabus of paper 1, General Studies paper 1 main examination. You will find in geography there are certain topics. There's agriculture, there's some food processing industries, etc. So just find out what are these topics and read only those topics from the book by Khullar. So then polity, of course, Lakshmikant is a very popular book. So it takes care of your preliminary examination very well. You should read Lakshmikant again and again. Read it many a times. Okay, so and also at the end of this book you have some multiple choice questions. Solve those questions. They will help you in your preliminary examination. And as far as main examination is concerned, from polity, most of the questions are related to current affairs. Of course, whatever the Indian Constitution that you read, or the polity that we know of our country, that forms the foundation for writing the answers. But answers are largely based on current affairs. Okay, so if your fundamentals are strong, you will use the reference to certain court cases. You will use the reference to certain articles of the Constitution in your answers. But largely for polity, for paper 2 in General Studies main examination, focus on current affairs. Prepare topics from current affairs very well. For example, we had the new president of our country. So this may be important from the examination point of view. So you should know what is the pattern, what is the process of presidential elections, what is the electoral college, who votes, who doesn't vote. Okay, so you should know a bit more about that, because that may come in the examination. Similarly, for example, the triple talaq issue was today decided by the Honorable Supreme Court. Now it may be important for you. Now read about from the current affairs, what was the reasoning given by the Honorable Court in arriving at its decision. Then go to the Constitution. What are the constitutional articles the court has referred? What are the articles of our Constitution? What are the fundamental rights that Honorable Court has mentioned? So that will make your answer more strong. Then comes another important area, that is economics. For economics, again, most of the questions would be related to current affairs, but you cannot answer the questions easily well unless and until you know the basics of economics. Okay, so for that there are a few big books which I would suggest you should read. One is there's 11th and 12th NCERT, economics NCERT. Just go through it, macroeconomics and microeconomics. It will help you build your basics. So it will start with the basic, what is law of demand and supply, and then it will talk about how prices are determined in a market. Then you will realize from single commodity to the prices in a larger market, in a larger spectrum of goods. It will talk about inflation, how do we measure inflation. Then you can know about what is monetary policy, what is fiscal policy, how do they impact inflation. So you will slowly build up your base, your knowledge about economics. And ultimately, when you have whichever topics are there in current affairs, whichever topics are there in the news, you will make better sense out of them. Okay, so build your fundamentals, build your concepts using the books like NCERT. You also have books like Mishra and Puri and Ramesh Singh. I read Ramesh Singh, I found it fairly good. Some topics which were not in Ramesh Singh, I read them from Mishra and Puri, so that largely sufficed. And besides, every year, as we know that we have this thing called as the economic survey. So economic survey is again very, very important from exam point of view. It talks about it gives a larger picture about how our economy is doing, what is the situation in our different sectors, what are the challenges that we are facing, what are the possible ways in which we can overcome those challenges, how should we go about. So that economic survey is also important. So is the budget statement. Every year, when budget is presented in the parliament, we have a budget speech, we have go through the main areas, the main the main points that a government is trying to highlight in its budget. So that will also be useful. And besides, when you're reading your newspaper every day, you have the economics page. Read the policy related, read the news items in which are more related to our larger economy. Okay, you don't have to read about this company is doing good, this company is doing bad. You don't have to read. That's not important for us from the examination point of view. It's largely those news items which generally talk about larger economy. RBI might have come up with the bi-monthly policy statement. What does it say? So it has changed the policy rate, so it has changed its stance. What does it mean? So there may be a report talking about how our industrial production is doing. There may be a report talking about how in general how are we doing when it comes to employment. You should know them. Then one more area is social issues. It's a part of both paper 1, paper 2 main examination. I read this book by Ram Ahuja. It's called Social Issues by Ram Ahuja. It's a very, very wonderful book, well updated. A lot of data is there, a lot of studies and surveys are included in that book. It discusses the different social issues, whether they're related to women, they're related to children, whether they're related to caste, whatever. They discuss them at quite a breadth, and I think it will be very, very helpful for you from the examination point of view. So then we know that paper 4 of your main examination, ethics and aptitude, it's largely more about writing skills rather than reading too much of stuff. So for this paper, I would suggest that you go through this book. It's Ethics and Aptitude by Subha Rao and Rai Chaudhary. It's a very good book. So go through this book, read the basic definitions, the basic concepts, prepare them, and after that focus more about writing answers to your to the different questions that you have. In ethics paper we have part 1 and part 2. In part 2 we generally have case studies. Try to solve as many case studies as you can. You can see the past 4-5 year papers are there. You can try to solve those papers. Also you can find a lot of both available on the net as well as on the offline in different shops. You can find a lot of those case studies. Try to solve them as many as possible. So that was more about the few of the books that I had read. So this was about the resources. Now, so till now I spoke about 2 things. One was about knowing the examination syllabus very well, and number 2 was I gave you some of the books which I used while during my preparation. Third thing which I want to emphasize on is try to make a timetable and follow that timetable properly. Take time to spend some time, an hour or so, decide at what time you get up, when are you going to read the newspaper, and how you're going to prepare your current affairs, how you're going to prepare your general studies, how you're going to prepare your optional subject. Make a timetable. But I want to emphasize here this thing again, that making timetable is not enough. You have to follow it, and for that that you have to make the timetable which is very much realistic. You should not make a timetable like you want to finish one subject in one day or two subjects in 2 days. That doesn't happen. What is important for us is to complete the syllabus, not to complete it quickly. Okay, so give sufficient time according which is more compatible to the capacity that you have. Okay, give sufficient time, proper time to each subject, and then make that timetable. So then that was the third point. Fourth point I want to emphasize is that in almost all the papers, be it general studies, be it your optional subject, be it main examination or the preliminary examination or even interview, the current affairs somehow forms the heart and soul of this examination. It's very, very, very important. Almost, I guess, 50% of whatever comes in the examination is in one way or the other related to current affairs. So you have to spend a lot of time preparing your current affairs. So for that, the sources that you have, the most important one is of course the newspaper. I used to read the Hindu and Indian Express. So I would suggest you read one newspaper every day, preferably in the morning. Make notes of whatever important items you find, news items you find, whatever you think would be important from the examination point of view. Don't copy articles. Just write down, just note down the summary of those or some of the main points that you can make get out of those articles. Okay, that's one. Then for current affairs these days, there are a lot of online resources available also. There are a lot of magazines available also. What you can do is, for initial days, you try to surf these, then and decide upon one that you want to follow, which you find easy to understand and whose coverage you find better. Okay, so try to follow that one, either magazine or a monthly maybe a blog or whatever it would be. Make one source in addition to your newspaper. Okay, so that will help you sum up and revise things, revise your current affairs every month. So that is about current affairs. And the sixth important point that I want to talk to you about is, there's an old saying that practice makes a man perfect. That's absolutely relevant here. Practice answer writing as much as you can. In fact, practice both for your preliminary as well as main examination. For prelims, the accuracy is very, very important. Now how do you reach that optimum level of accuracy? That comes only when you have practiced a lot of questions, when you have written a lot of tests. So you can get past 10-year papers, you can get the question banks which are available in the market. Then attempt those questions for your try to solve as many as you can. Then there may be questions you are able to answer, there may be questions which you're not able to answer. If you encounter a question you don't know answer of, then look at the answer of that question. You can do a sort of reverse engineering. You can try to find out the answer to that question from the main text. It will make things more concrete in your mind. Similarly, for your main examination, it's all about how well you write in the examination. We are not in front of the examiner. He only has the answer sheet, the answers that we have written there. We have less time, we have a lot of stuff to write. And how do we write good answers in that short period of time? How do we attempt all the questions? That comes only with practice. So practice answer writing as much as you can. This is very, very important for the optional subject. So that was about this. Then we have essay paper. Essay is again very, very important paper. People get marks. They may get 40 marks in essay, and they may also get 150 marks in essay paper. Many a times essay is the subject essay is the paper which makes or mars one's rank. Okay, so essay writing again, practice is very, very important. Maybe every fortnight or every week you can write one essay. Make it a habit. Then for essays, just few tips that I want to share with you. First thing is that before writing an essay, try to understand the topic very well. As you know that we are giving 4 or 5 options, and we have to write essay on any one of those 5 topics. Now write on that topic which you understand the most. Okay, so there may be some other topic, you understand some keywords, you might have read a lot about it, but there's something in the topic which you don't understand. So there's a strong possibility that you may actually end up writing something else while the examiner wanted us to write something else. Okay, so try to write on that topic which you understand well. Then spend some time, 10, 15, 20 minutes drawing an outline. So first of all, what is the topic about? So try to what is your how are you going to introduce, what is the central theme or central hypothesis of your essay. Okay, then what are the different dimensions that you're going to talk about? So make that outline. How are you going to conclude it? Make that outline on a rough paper, maybe at the end of your answer sheet. Okay, then start writing. Okay, this outline will help you stay confined within the topic. It will prevent you from deviating. Otherwise what happens is, because we are writing in for about 1,000 or 1,500 words, so once we are discussing one particular dimension, we may just end up writing too much about that dimension and ignore other dimensions. Okay, so it helps if we before starting writing the essay, if we make a broader outline about what I'm going to discuss and what I'm not going to discuss. So that was about essay. Then do's and don'ts. One don't would be certainly, don't lose hope. Many a times, you may write tests, or you may not perform well. You may get a lot of self-doubts. I used to get them. I think everybody gets them. Don't be buckled down by them. Don't be bogged down by them. Just stay confident. Just pull yourself up, and every time you feel low, think about your parents, think about people for whom you can work a lot. Think about what all you want to do once you join civil services. That itself will give you a lot of motivation. Thank you so much, Delhi Knowledge Track, for coming here and letting me share my views and experiences with you all. The Delhi Knowledge Track is doing a wonderful job, and my best wishes to them as well. Thank you so much.